When the circumstances surrounding U.S. President Donald Trump's phone call to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky became public in September 2019, a huge scandal was already brewing on Capitol Hill. Democrats were calling for blood from Donald Trump, accusing him of using his office to undermine his political rival Joe Biden in the upcoming 2020 presidential election. I carefully read the transcript of the conversation between the two leaders and was shocked. I was deeply outraged by the bacchanalia that the Democrats staged in the U.S. Congress. A perfectly businesslike and specific conversation requesting an investigation into the financial plots of the Biden family was presented in a tragic light. Trump must be crucified for pressuring Zelensky and interfering in Ukraine's affairs. Read this transcript carefully. Zelensky himself admits that he would like to drain the swamp in Ukraine. He was talking about the swamp of corruption, the large-scale corruption that the Democrats had created in the country under Obama. And yet, Special Counsel Robert Mueller, encouraged by the Democrats, seriously tried to prove that Trump was being controlled by the Kremlin. In the end, even the special counsel himself acknowledged the absurdity of these accusations. I will emphasize this key point. In his conversation with Trump, Zelensky promised him that all investigations into the Bidens would be conducted openly and honestly. It was a real tragedy for Ukraine that Zelensky, under pressure from the Democrats, did not comply with Trump's request. Instead, he refused to investigate the Biden family's corruption schemes. Even in 2019, the colossal corruption swamp into which the Democrats had dragged Ukraine could have been exposed. Just imagine how events could have unfolded after that phone call. Republicans could have brought me in as a consultant to the Justice Department and the FBI on corruption schemes involving not only the Bidens, but also high-ranking American and Ukrainian corrupt officials, whose exposure I have dedicated this book to. I am confident that if investigations been done properly, Biden would be in prison instead of the White House. I am still ready to give all the necessary testimony and provide incriminating documents revealing the extent of corruption among Democrats in Ukraine. We have wasted 10 years. Billions of U.S. taxpayers' dollars have disappeared and been lost in the steppes of Ukraine. My country has been turned into a giant money laundering operation. Amid the clamor of declarations about fighting corruption and building a democratic state, all reasonable ideas about creating anti-corruption mechanisms in the law enforcement system have been neutered. In the hands of the Democrats, such ideas have become a means of profiteering and plundering not only my country, but also the American Treasury. If we want to build a free and democratic Ukraine today, we cannot do without draining the swamp of corruption in both Washington and Kiev. The sooner we start this work, the better it will be for the future of our two countries. I had to pay a high price for my courage in investigating crimes involving none other than the son of the U.S. President, Hunter Biden. Vicktor Shokin, 2025. On behalf of Vicktor Shokin, those championing a free and independent Ukraine, and myself, we're grateful you've listened. Please share it widely, invite others to buy it too.